Hey everyone, the Germaniac back again, bringing you your Friday video. Now, today we got the wrap up thanks to the local and also archive.md, so I can get it for free. But anyway, what do we have for Friday? Strikes entered third day, new population statistics, German and Protestant church child abuse scandal, and more news from around the country. Strikes entered third day. The nationwide German train drivers GDL strikes is continuing on Friday. Around 80% of long distance and regional trains won't be running, and S-Bahn services are affected too. It comes after drivers on passenger trains walked out as part of an industrial action at 2 a.m. on Wednesday. The strike is expected to last until Monday at 6 p.m., so expect disruptions over the weekend unless a solution is found to the dispute about pay and conditions. Now, in regards to this, a lot of the population is actually, I think it was like 70% of the population was pissed off that the train drivers are striking, because it actually interrupts, I guess, a lot of people's plans. But what the train drivers have been trying to do, they're trying to essentially do these strikes at the same time as all these farmer protests, so that the pressure that they're doing is a little bit more, or that if you time it with the farmer protests, the roads are blocked from the farmers, and now the trains are not running as well. It kind of enhances your well, the kind of, what should we call it, damage that you're giving to the government, because people can't use the roads in some spots, and now people can't use the trains. So, pretty clever by them, but a lot of the German population is not actually for the train strikes because, well, it's just too inconvenient, I reckon. So they just find it too inconvenient, and they don't want it to be. They want the trains to be operating. So next one, German population is growing. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder how. According to an estimate by the Federal Statistical Office, des Status, the population in Germany grew to around 84.7 million people at the end of 2023. Compared to 2022, it has grown by around 0.3 million. The status announced on Thursday the increase corresponds to the average for the year 2012 to 2021, and it is significantly lower than in 2022, when record immigration, primarily due to refugees coming from Ukraine, led to a sharp increase of 1.1 million people. And these people have to go back. We are bracing from all the other articles and all the kind of war hawkish talks we've been having. If Germany is actually preparing to engage with Russia, then guess what? These people have to engage with Russia first, because Germans don't have a responsibility to Ukraine, but Ukrainians, they kind of do. So if Germany has to go in, Germans have to die for a cause. I say let it be the Ukrainians who die first. That just makes sense. You know, put them first, and then maybe Germany can come. But the fact of the matter is once again, like I said before, people don't want to die for some total hellhole in Eastern Europe. So no, nobody wants to fight in Ukraine. Not even Ukrainians really want to fight for Ukraine. How old's the country? Like 10 seconds old? Like, come on. Nope, nobody wants to do it. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. According to the status, net immigration, the difference between immigration and emigration, was the sole cause of population growth. I mean, isn't that always for Germany? It's like refugees, asylum seekers, nobody wants to actually have kids. They need to solve that. Big problem. Was the sole cause of population growth in 2023. It is estimated to be between 680,000 and 710,000 people. Up to 9,355 minors abused by German Protestant Church. Well, I don't know what the church is doing in mines, but That's interesting. Obviously a joke. Are you laughing yet? A study into child sex abuse in the German Protestant Church estimated the number of minors who fell victim may be as high as 9,355. The study published on Thursday had made the estimate after reviewing 2,025 documented cases of wrongdoing and identified 1,259 potential perpetrators. Now, when it comes to these churches, it's no surprise that this is going on. It isn't a this isn't like a Protestant, a Catholic, or Christian thing. We see these numbers, similar numbers percentage wise, across any kind of situation when there is an adult as an authority figure, obviously dealing with children. Predators will usually go for roles where they have command over their prey. So you're always going to get these things happen statistically, whether it's in the church, which has become kind of grotesquely seen as like this giant pedophile organization, or or just in schools in general. It happens in schools. The predators will go where they can get the most easy access to who they deem as prey. Anyway, so the figure based on the available evidence was just the tip of the iceberg, author Martin Volzovic said at a press conference. The total estimated number of perpetrators was close to 3,500 among the church ministers and officials, according to the EKD Commission study. The study brings some light to the extent of abuse within the German Protestant Church, which had long been managed to avoid the sort of scandal which has engulfed its Catholic counterpart. France Le Pen distances herself from Germany's AfD over immigration row. France's far-right National Rally leader Le Pen said Thursday she disagreed with the idea of mass expulsion of immigrants, an idea that's believed to have been talked about by part of Germany's AfD, her EU Parliament ally. Okay, I was reading this like a... Right. I mean, honestly, it's like when they originally were, advertising for Le Pen, she's like this far right. It's like they do the same kind of talk every single time. They're far right. They're kind of a Nazi, or they're a Nazi. They're a fascist. They're gonna get rid of everybody. And to an extent, yeah, the majority of the French population don't want immigrants. They don't want people coming into the country anymore. They feel like they've taken too many. So weird thing to say by Le Pen here, that she disagrees with the immigration talks. That's kind of her entire thing. That the French people don't want immigration, and Le Pen is supposed to be the one to sort that out. Hilariously enough, it's like where you get these politicians who get into power. What's the Italian one's name? Which she's like promises to send the boats back, and then next minute she said even more boats are coming after she gets into power. So how many of these right wingers are actually right wing, as in they want to stop immigration? It seems like not many at all. Even when they get into power, they're like we're getting told they're like these Nazis, and then like they just continue doing the same thing as everybody else. So pretty wild. So members of the AfD party, which is riding high in opinion polls, reportedly discussed the idea at a meeting with extremists, including a prominent Austrian far right leader, who's Mans Sellner, who's basically doing I think he gave a speech. His speech was basically talking about his book called Remigration or something. But you can see the entire thing on Rumble. I haven't watched it. Maybe I should react to it. The proposed policy known as remigration was the mass deportation of foreigners as well as non-assimilated citizens. Since news of the meeting was leaked early this month by investigative media outlets Correct IV, hundreds of thousands of people have taken the streets across Germany in protest, including on Thursday night. I am in complete disagreement with the proposal that was apparently discussed or decided on in that meeting, Le Pen told a news conference. So she got cornered with questions, and she's like, I don't like the idea of whatever they talked about, which she probably doesn't even really know. Germany consumer mood dips at start of the year. German consumers are feeling significantly more pessimistic heading into February. A key survey showed Friday as a downturn in Europe's largest economy drags on. Pollster GfK said its forward-looking survey of around 2,000 people plunged to minus 29.7 points, a drop of 4.3 compared with a month earlier. Analysts surveyed by financial data firm FactSet had expected another rise in consumer sentiment after 2 months of increases. Crisis and wars, as well as persistently high inflation. What is the inflation anyway? Are unsettling consumers and thus preventing an improvement in consumer sentiment, say GfK, which published a survey with the Nuremberg Institute for Market Decisions. German economy stuck in recession. As well as consumers, German business morale sank further in January. A key survey showed this week as a slump in Europe's largest economy showed few signs of passing quickly. I mean, this is clearly one of the reasons, is because of Nord Stream getting blown up. I think the government subsidized, a lot of the businesses and people after it was blown up, but now it's kind of, they're not doing it anymore. And so now businesses are going to have to pay 40% more. And this goes back to my Nord Stream betrayal video. Go check it out because, I mean, like, honestly, I think it was the US. Just very clearly, they had the most to gain from breaking off German-Russian relations. The US using Ukrainian assets, and now the German people have to pay. The German people have to pay because they have no control over their actual country. The US government tells them to do something. You guys have to bite the bullet. You have to eat dirt. They have to do it. They're getting little broed by the US. So Germany needs to become its own country. And maybe I should make a video about this, but this is why I would talk about, not that I made videos on it, but I saw Trump as kind of like a more positive thing in the extent of, if Trump was a good president, then good. But if he's not a good president, well, still good. Because then Germany, as people were seeing, were kind of starting to move into the position as new world leaders of freedom, which is only a good thing for Germany. They get to essentially pick up the mantle. The US becomes more isolationist. And now it's, Germany can take up the empty throne, to say to an extent. Anyway, the LFO Institute closely watched confidence barometers based on a survey of around 9,000 companies, slid to 85.2 points in the first month of the year after falling to 86.3 points in December. The new year drop disappointed analysts surveyed by financial data from FactSet, who had expected a gentle increase in the indicator. The German economy is stuck in a recession, said IFO President Clemens Fust, with companies assessing the current situation and the outlook as worse than a month before. But that's it. That's it for this week's, Friday's news of this week's Roundup. I want to kind of change how the videos are done. I might make one more video after this with kind of like a more react content kind of thing. And then I might try and change over to just using, like, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but like the free software, because I'm currently paying for Loom, so that, I'm more on the screen and the server and the article will be on the right side of me. I think I might try doing it like that from now on. But I might release this video today. I'll make another video reacting to something, which I'll release tomorrow, and then that will give me tomorrow to get the new way I want to do things sorted out. But I'll do it just as a test. Who knows? We'll see. But if you like the video, like, subscribe, follow, and I'll see you in the next one.